jaw-dropping dishonesty, just outright lies from the media. This time they woke up and hit the slot machine. It went past Joe Rogan and landed firmly on Dave Chappelle. And this is incredible. I want you to watch this. We're going to start with Dave Chappelle, who I don't even have to tell you, he's no friend to a lot of mainstream media outlets right now. His last couple of specials have made him less of a tool that they can control and something that's much more heterodox in terms of the opinions that he has put out there. So they don't like this. And I think that's why they treat you differently in some of these circumstances. Here he is in his hometown of Yellow Springs, Ohio. Of all people in this small town, Dave Chappelle, a resident, comes up to the microphone. Here's what he said. This is pretty great.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, I'm Dave Chappelle. I just want to say, and Marianne, I could talk to you about this privately. I don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation from a $24 million a year company while they X out a $65 million a year company. I cannot believe you would make me audition for you. You look like clowns. I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all. Thank you.
All right, now a round of applause cut off by the village of Yellow Springs because they obviously wouldn't want that going out there. And Dave Chappelle, think about what you just heard, about what you just saw. Did you hear him mention the phrase affordable housing once, twice? No, he didn't mention affordable housing at all. Yet what did all of these stories say from CNN? Dave Chappelle spoke out against affordable housing plan in his community. Ohio Village scraps plan with affordable housing after Dave Chappelle threatens to pull his business. Dave Chappelle helped kill affordable housing. They got the word kill in there now. In Yellow Springs, Ohio, Slate magazine promises the whole story, the full story. Right. I'm sure that's what we're going to get. NBC4, Chappelle helps shut down Ohio affordable housing development. I am not bluffing. Yada, yada, yada. On and on they went with this stuff. So we know now why the media probably isn't a huge fan of Dave Chappelle. And when they're not a huge fan of you, it absolutely, rapidly, and intensely changes the coverage and the amount of coverage that you get, especially negative coverage. Here's what was really going on. Residents of a small Ohio village, including comedian Dave Chappelle, expressed concerns at a Monday night council meeting over plans to build an affordable housing development. The Village Council of Yellow Springs ultimately voted 2-2 on the affordable housing plan. With one member abstaining, it was a tie, and that got the affordable housing plan out of what was approved. Okay, so something was approved at this, including a 53-acre development that remains on track to be built. This 53-acre development they're going to build has 143 single-family homes starting at $300,000 each. All right, $300,000 is the number I want you to remember. That's where the price starts for these houses. But wonder who put this video out there. I wonder who sent this video of Dave Chappelle and his speech at this small-time Yellow Springs, Ohio council meeting. Maybe one of the two people that voted for this to pass and were against him and wanted to shame him. And the media was all too happy just to jump on board. God, Dave Chappelle? Hell yeah, we hate that guy. Let's go for it. Here's what actually was up for passing. Now, in this column, this is what Chappelle and many of the residents of Yellow Springs were against. They don't feel they were consulted on this. On the right, this is the plan that actually passed. On the left, the one that didn't pass, it was going to be 140 different places that they were building. 143 are going to be built in the plan that did pass. The plan that did pass is going to be 143 single-family houses. And though this says mid-300,000s, you just read, they're starting at $300,000. This was going to be in the plan that they wanted to vote down here. 140 different places, 64 single-family, 52 duplexes, and 24 townhomes. Did you hear anything about rental apartments? No, because there are no rental apartments. There's no real affordable housing in this if you're trying to look at it on that level. In fact, these places start in the mid-200,000s. They were going to be for sale for about $50,000 less than the places that passed are going to go for sale. And this is the plan that did not go by. This is the plan that did. Residents had many, many issues with this. They were concerned about traffic flow, problems with a proposed homeowners association. They're not fans of homeowners associations. HOAs are not in small places like Yellow Springs, Ohio. One resident, Matthew Kirk, a member of the Citizens Board who worked on the project, said he was initially excited, but he soured. The plan was really 2 projects rather than one, a single-family home development next to a condo development. I think it's important to kind of understand the framing and also understand how these products attract different home buyers. They were never planning in this spot in Yellow Springs on actually developing any affordable housing as you're picturing it. What they were planning to do was open up some regulations and allow for chain restaurants to come into this area, allow for homeowners associations to take hold that you would never be able to get control of, and allow a complete change to the way Yellow Springs works, looks, and feels. Dave Chappelle didn't like that. All the other residents felt like this whole thing was rushed and they needed to vote it down for now. They can do something about affordable housing that works. According to the Dayton Daily News, the process development involved more than 100 single-family homes with prices ranging from $200,000 or $250,000 to $600,000. The second option had duplexes and townhomes, but there were no actual apartments in this. Here's one of the claims that I heard a lot when I was watching the residents complain. In the rush for approval, they limited their outreach and failed to engage the community at large in the input process. Additionally, the developer's product and generic approach to building does not allow for the flexibility to address the particular needs of our village. They said, we can talk this out and we can move forward. Dave Chappelle is saying, I didn't kill affordable housing. Concerned residents and a responding village council killed a half-baked plan that never actually offered affordable housing. But it didn't matter. Those aren't the stories that get out there. Those aren't the stories that get widespread attention. And whether or not there are corrections, I don't think most of these outlets care. This brings up 282,000 results. That's Dave Chappelle's name, but a lot of these are about this particular story that they're using to try to make him look bad. Why? Because he disagrees and he dares go to the place where he lives and talk about it with other people who were so against it, they gave him a rousing round of applause. Now, is that what you think was reflected in these stories? If not, why? Let me know in the comments below. And why does this arsonist tactic that the media outlets continue to use, why is it that they keep getting away with it? There's got to be ways to combat this. I think one is continuously calling them out by spreading the word just like this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I'll be interacting with you. Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit that follow button. Over on YouTube.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit subscribe. Thank you to the supporters. You can do that down below if you're over on Facebook, or you can do it on YouTube. I'll look for those comments, and we'll talk to you again real soon.